Some wounds don't disappear. No matter how much time passes. No matter how strong you become. No matter how badly you wish things had been different. And one of the hardest lessons in life is accepting that. Think about that. We're often told that time heals everything. That eventually the pain will fade. That one day you'll wake up and it won't hurt anymore. But life doesn't always work that way. Some wounds remain. Not because you're weak. Not because you're doing something wrong. But because certain experiences leave marks that become part of who you are. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're carrying a loss that never fully left. A betrayal you never forgot. A childhood wound that still follows you. A regret that still visits you at night. A tragedy that changed your life forever. And despite everything you've done, a part of the pain remains. The reality is brutal. Some wounds are not meant to be erased. They're meant to be carried. And that's difficult to accept. Because most people spend years fighting reality. They keep asking the same question. When will I finally be over this? When will it stop hurting? When will I feel normal again? When will I become the person I was before? But here's another uncomfortable truth. Sometimes there is no before to return to. Sometimes the experience changes you permanently. And that's the problem. You keep trying to become who you were, while life is asking you to become someone new. The reality is brutal. Pain changes people. Loss changes people. Trauma changes people. Anyone who tells you otherwise has probably never carried a truly heavy wound. Certain experiences divide your life into two chapters. The person you were before. And the person you became after. Maybe you felt that. Maybe there are moments when you remember who you used to be. The version of yourself that felt safer. Lighter. More trusting. More hopeful. And part of you misses that person. Part of you wants them back. But life keeps moving forward. And no amount of wishing can reverse what happened. Here's another uncomfortable truth. Many people suffer more from resisting the wound than from the wound itself. They spend years trying to deny it. Hide it. Outrun it. Pretend it doesn't exist. But pain that is ignored rarely disappears. It simply follows you in silence. The reality is brutal. Healing is not always about removing the pain. Sometimes it's about changing your relationship with it. Think about that. The wound may remain. But your relationship with it can evolve. The memory may remain. But it no longer has to control every decision. The scar may remain. But it no longer has to define your identity. Now let's talk about the solution. The first lesson is simple. Stop measuring healing by the absence of pain. This is where many people get trapped. They think healing means never feeling hurt again. Never thinking about it again. Never crying about it again. But that's not always realistic. Sometimes healing means the pain is no longer running your life. The second lesson is to stop fighting your emotions. Sadness is not failure. Grief is not weakness. Missing someone is not a sign that you're stuck. You are human. Human beings remember. Human beings love. Human beings hurt. Allow yourself that humanity. The third lesson is to stop asking why the wound happened and start asking what it can teach you. Not because every tragedy has a beautiful meaning. Some tragedies don't. But even in suffering, wisdom can grow. Compassion can grow. Strength can grow. Understanding can grow. The fourth lesson is to build a life bigger than the wound. This is important. Many people accidentally make their pain the center of their identity. Everything becomes about what happened. Everything becomes about the loss. The betrayal. The trauma. But you are more than your worst experience. You are still a person with dreams, goals, relationships, possibilities. Don't let the wound become your entire story. And the final lesson is this. Give yourself permission to carry the scar without being ashamed of it. The reality is brutal. Some wounds never completely heal. Some losses never completely leave. Some questions never receive answers. That is part of being human. But there is another truth. You can still laugh. You can still love. You can still build meaningful relationships. You can still create beautiful memories. You can still experience joy. Not because the wound disappeared, but because life is bigger than the wound. One day, you'll realize something powerful. The goal was never to become the person you were before. That person no longer exists. The goal was to become someone capable of carrying what happened without being destroyed by it. Someone capable of moving forward while still remembering. Someone capable of feeling pain without losing hope. Someone capable of living fully, even with a scar that never completely fades. Because strength is not having no wounds. Strength is learning how to continue living when some of them never fully heal. And sometimes, that is the bravest thing a human being can do.